Okay. Hello, hello. How do I sound on the mic? It's good and all that? Okay. Thank you all for joining me for my first conference talk ever. So, thank you. So this talk is called Embedded Leadership, a guide to leading from within. Okay. My name is Marshall Burns, and I am a farmer. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a former product and platform software engineer at Accenture Federal Services, where I was a junior engineer. And I'm also a CEO and co-founder of a small startup called Archetype Dynamics Incorporated. Both my co-founders are in this room supporting me today, so shout out to them. It's a picture of a couple of my goats on the farm, and then there's a picture of me with some of my guys on deployment there. Okay? It's a little bit about me. Who is this talk for? Anybody. I don't care if you're a junior, a senior, a lead, a manager, supervisor, director, C-suite personnel. Leadership is something you should care about. All right? I want to make that very, very clear. And also, it's not just for our industry. It goes across other industries as well. So, leadership positioning. I define this as one's physical and mental proximity to the work and the people doing it. One's physical and mental proximity to the work and the people doing it. What does that mean? It's in the definition. How close are you to the work? Are you high level of your team? Are you not there for the day-to-day? Are you even involved? Or are you a little too involved, micromanaging, got your fingers everywhere you're not supposed to? Or are you got a good balance? Okay? That's leadership positioning. It's a nice little photo I took a while ago. Why does this matter? So, for context, in the military, I'm sure as most people know, poor leadership can put people in harm's way. I've been there as a person put in harm's way. In tech or in other businesses or industries, poor leadership can ruin a company, a product, a team, an individual's career. All of this is preventable with good leadership qualities and behaviors. I went from leading 20 to 30 junior sailors when I was only 21 years old to getting into tech and having a career tech lead who could not lead me in the slightest. It was terrible. I had a terrible experience because of their leadership behaviors and where they led from. So I'm going to outline 3 leadership positions. 2 are very common and from my experience do not work or they backfire a lot. And then there's one in my experience that has been very effective for me, and I'm hoping it'll be effective for all of you in here. Does that sound good to y'all? Yeah. Right on. So first, leading from the front. Is anyone familiar with that term, take charge? Or leading from the front, straight up, just leading from the front. Take charge, lead by example. This is what I think of when I hear that, right? In my experience, this is the most common position people like to lead from. It becomes more common the higher up in an organization's hierarchy that someone is. What does that mean? You start getting those promotions, you start worrying about your career a little bit more. You're not really worried about what the people beneath you have as far as the organization goes. You're worried about, let me make more money, provide for my family a little bit more. Or you just don't care enough anymore about those juniors. So there's a couple behaviors we're looking at, right? Making all the decisions. Is anyone in here familiar with somebody at their place of work who does that? If they're in the room, don't say it, if you're familiar with it, okay? This is one of those behaviors. Somebody that's making all the decisions, Anyone familiar with, this messed up there a little bit, but taking credit for the team's work? That happened to me a lot. In the military, for me, specifically in the Navy, there's a lot of folks who, again, are worried about their careers a little bit more as they get higher up. They want to get that retirement, that pension. So they stop caring about what the juniors got going on. But they take credit for it. Oh, I supervised that. I was in charge of this, even though the junior did all the work. That's not cool. Refusal to delegate work. Please excuse this. When I transported this over, it got a little choppy, but work with me here, all right? Refusal to delegate work. Anyone familiar with that? Okay. I can do it. I can take care of it. I've done this. I've been around the block 20 years. John Doe is a junior engineer or whatever position he's working in. He don't know what he's doing. I got it. I'm not going to delegate the work. I'll take care of it. That happens. They kind of have that get out of the way, I'll fix it mentality. You got that person at your company that's been there for maybe 7 years, and nobody else knows how to do a certain thing or why an architecture works the way it does, but oh, that one person knows. What happens with that person not there? Goes down, right? That happens. Another behavior of this would be micromanagement, okay? You have your, you got your fingers, in all different pots and all different, bowls, if you will, like a marionette and a puppet master. I don't like micromanagement. I don't know about y'all. I don't like it. So what are the results of this that I've seen? Leaders seem self-serving and over-ambitious or just ambitious about their own goals. You are my leader. You are supposed to care about the work that we're doing, the product we're working on, the company we're with, your own career ambitions and goals, and mine. I'm the junior. You're supposed to care about me because I want to get to where you're at one day. Juniors feel left behind and ill-prepared. I've talked about my work at Accenture. A lot of people in here, I've had personal conversations with you about that. I'm not trying to name drop the company or any people there, but when I was there, I felt left behind. The first team that I was on, that engineering team, I was left behind in the dust. You're looking at that little picture right here. If you're leading from the front, the people in the back might get a little left behind. They're a mile back while you're just going forward. Okay, that's how I felt at Accenture, and specifically on that team that I was on. The leader becomes a bottleneck. Again, like I was just saying, what happens when that one person who knows every system or that particular system is gone or out or is fired or let go or just decides to give up, I don't care anymore? You got a single point of failure. And that's not good. That one person is at fault, okay? Keep that what I just said in mind. That one person is at fault. So that's leading from the front. It seems like I'm seeing a lot of heads moving up and down. A lot of people are familiar with that, whether that be in your current role or previous one. Well, the opposite of this would be leading from the rear. It is less common than leading from the front, but it becomes more common the lower someone is on an organization's hierarchy. You understand me? What does this mean for those who don't understand me? In the military, you have enlisted ranks, E1 through 9, okay? E1, 2, and 3 are junior personnel. The moment you hit E4, you're a non-commissioned officer. Everybody with me, okay? Once you hit E4, you get a little leadership, you get a bigger paycheck. You know what I mean? So people are still very much junior. The chances are they're younger. They have a role of leadership role, but they're still lower on that pay scale. So they become a little bit complacent. So that's what I mean when I say it becomes more common the lower that leader is on the organization's hierarchy. So what are some of the behaviors of leading from the rear? Poor delegation of work, not no delegation of work, but poor delegation of work. If I have 2 engineers on my team, one is a wizard at front-end work or full-stack work, right? They got the tools, the Reacts, the Views, the Svelte kits, the whatever JS framework you're learning this week. They got it all, right? And then I have a systems engineer, who can build whatever I want from scratch, talk to the machine. I'm talking the ones and zeros. It would be odd of me to delegate to the systems engineer, hey man, can you add a feature to this web app real quick? It'd be a little odd. That's poor delegation of work. Could he do it or could they do it? Absolutely, I'm sure they could. But why not just have the person whose job that is or who's proficient in it? You gotta play to those people's strengths and be aware of their weaknesses. Being unavailable. This one is personal. We live in a world where I have Slack, Teams, FaceTime, text messaging, email chains, GitHub tickets, Jira tickets, whatever you use to communicate with your team. Why is it that I message you, I ping you in the morning time, I don't hear back to the next day, maybe a day later? Has anybody dealt with that? It may just be me, okay. And it's sad that it's not just me, okay? Why is that? I get when you are a leader, you are going to be busy. You will have more administrative work to do. You will have more people to worry about, including yourself and your own career and your own livelihood. But that's what being a leader is. You will have more on your plate. You will need to take care of that and take care of your people. It is an excuse, in my opinion, to say, sorry, I didn't see that. Sorry. But you were online. The status said online. I even saw the little typing bubbles pop up. You just decided not to respond to me. And avoiding difficult conversations. This one is very, very, very important. Like I just said, you are a leader. You need to have difficult conversations with your personnel, okay? You may, for example, for me, when I was back in the Navy, if I had two sailors who may have been getting into it, somebody said something very outlandish, we got to stop that before it becomes a real problem. Pull them aside, and I talk to them. Hey, what's going on? Let's figure this out. Treat them as adults, right? That's where we all are. In tech, you might have to, hey man, your code quality sucks. This pull request sucks. I don't like your work ethic. You might have a difficult conversation, but it's not just you talking to a junior. It could be your junior talking to you. Hey, boss, I don't like the way you talk to me and stand up today. You kind of put me on the spot, whatever it may be. Or I don't like your leadership style. I need you to, to fix that for me. Or something along those lines. You're not mentoring me. Whatever it is, you have to take that input and say, okay, thank you for that, and have a little feedback, a little conversation. Do not avoid difficult conversations. This is what people who lead from the rear do. So what are the results of some of these behaviors? The team feels abandoned. Again, I've been there before. When I was on deployment, we had a leader, and he didn't hang out with his guys. He didn't do anything with us. We trained together, but after that, it was that was it. He's going back home, but we wanted him to hang out with us. He's part of the team. We were a 10-man team. We're close-knit. But he would hang out with people who would further his career rather than the guys he was actually there deployed with. I didn't like that at all. So we didn't have trust or faith in that leader. There were some other situations that happened. I'll spare you the details, but remember earlier I said people could be put in harm's way. I'm not name dropping though. Okay, problems arise before the leader knows. Remember, previously, the leader was that bottleneck when they're leading from the front. They're single point of failure. It's their fault. Something broke. Prod broke. It's their fault. Now, leading from the rear, the senior's not even a part of this. It's the junior's fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. Your fault. Somebody's always to blame, apparently. And then the juniors struggle with the lack of guidance. I've been there. I thought, am I cut out for this? Imposter syndrome, right? Am I cut out for this? Am I good enough? Am I supposed to be a developer or engineer? It don't seem like it, because you're not telling me that I am. You're just somewhere doing your own thing. Everybody understand what I'm talking about here. I'm preaching a little bit. I'm sorry. Here we go. So, this is leading from the rear. I had a leader one time. That's him on the left-hand side there. And he told me this phrase that's right above the photo, and it stuck with me to this day so much so that I am bringing it to you all. It's nothing that's going to change the world, in my opinion. You probably heard it before, say it a different way. That's all good. Be the leader that you've always wanted. I want everybody to say that with me real quick. Go ahead. Be the leader that you've always wanted. Okay, what does that mean? What does it mean? Be the leader you've always wanted. I know what kind of leader I don't want, so it's easy to let's do the opposite, right? I don't want somebody that's not there or is completely unavailable, is afraid to have the difficult conversations with me, only cares about their own career, shows up to stand up, then all of a sudden they're gone for the rest of the day. I don't want nobody like that. I want somebody who is there doing the work with me as best as they can, who communicates with me, et cetera, all the good qualities that I have yet to mention, right? Okay, so this guy changed the way I think about leadership, and I'm hoping maybe he has a little impact on all y'all as well. So, going back to the Navy, this is before I was a leader. I'm a junior here. I don't know what's going on in the world, but I'm thinking about it now. I had somebody tell me something that got me thinking. Now it's my time to shine. I get promoted. Look at that smile. Woo! Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm promoted now. I got a bigger paycheck. It was great. Oh, sorry about that. After all, let me fix this real quick. After the photos, after the congratulations, the handshakes and all of that, it was business as usual. Yeah, I got a promotion, but it's back to work. It's time to lead. And so knowing these different approaches and having these terrible experiences, specifically in the military alone, people leading from the rear, leading from the front, what is my approach? I want to be the leader that I've always wanted. I want somebody who has those good qualities. So I chose to lead embedded. Folks, this is not very difficult. The most difficult part about leading embedded is the fact that it takes an immense amount of intentional effort. You all know this stuff. Give everyone a voice and listen actively. It feels good to be heard, right? It feels good with y'all hearing me right now. This is great. I love it. Working alongside your team in the trenches. The trenches, what does this mean? It depends on your field, right, your industry. For me, like I said, when I was on deployment, we wanted our leader with us. That's how you build that camaraderie, that unit cohesion. You may have heard that term before. In tech, it's a little different. We all have our own machines, sometimes our own cubicles, our own offices. That's okay. You don't got to be sharing that machine. You could check in with your person. Hey, how's this going? Am I doing enough as a leader for you to succeed and have a good output so this product can be better, this company can be better? Am I mentoring you enough? Do you have the proper access to whatever you may need access to? When I was at Accenture, I waited for access to a computer for months. I'm reaching out in stand-up, hey, I still don't have a machine to work on. Oh, we're working on it. Now, I know it's government work, but come on. I'm just sitting there, it's terrible. So showing your team that you are willing to work alongside them, you will build the utmost faith. They will have the utmost faith and trust in you because they see, all right, you down here with us. You don't think you're better than me because you have a larger paycheck. You are here to do the same work that I am, a little different, obviously, because, you're a senior or whatever, but still, you're there to do the job. And then communicate clearly and frequently. This is very important. I love clear, concise communication. Again, that being unavailable thing. If I reach out to you, I should hear back from you. I get maybe an hour later. I could give you a little leeway. Maybe you have more meetings and things of that nature. All these behaviors, we are all aware of them in this room. We know what this is. This is just being a decent human being, honestly. But the hardest part about it is it requires effort, a great deal of intentional effort. Okay? Do y'all want to give effort? Do y'all think y'all want to lead embedded? If you're a junior right now and you don't have anybody that works for you, I should say, that's fine. You should be learning how to properly lead. You should be looking at the leaders you have right now and saying, I don't like that behavior, or I do like that behavior. All right? Maybe if you want to tell the leader about it, go for it. You should be learning right now. If you are a senior and you think I've been doing this for too long, I'm on my way out, and I'm stuck in my ways. No, that's not good because you're going to negatively affect that junior's or several juniors' career, and guess what they're going to do when it's their time to lead? They're going to repeat that same cycle, and it's going to keep going. I feel as though if everybody decided to lead embedded, use these simple good behaviors and be intentional with it, we could potentially break that cycle. This is all very important to me because when I was in that role, my mental health went down the toilet, okay? The military, that also kind of, but afterwards in tech, I didn't think that would happen in tech. I'm thinking everybody's on the same page and all this communication, and we got all these tools. No. So my mental health went down the toilet. I was contemplating, is this for me? I need to just find another job, all of that stuff, right? I did not have someone who led embedded, okay? But that's okay, because it taught me a lesson. It taught me a very important lesson, okay? The results of these behaviors, the team feels heard and valued. Again, we like that feeling. We like feeling heard and valued, appreciated, especially at work. That's rare. You like doing that at home and feeling that at home, but at work, you just kind of I'm going to show up. But if you go and show up, but you're heard and appreciated, I could stay a couple more minutes and talk to so-and-so or take care of this job or this ticket or what have you, if you're actually going into the office, right? The leader maintains credibility. We have two companies, right? Company A and Company B. There's a senior or a tech lead or a manager, whomever, at Company A, along with the junior. That person, that senior decides, I'm going to go to Company B. I've done everything I can here. I'm getting a promotion, maybe a bigger paycheck, maybe it's closer to home, whatever. So they go to Company B. That junior loved working for them so much that they are willing to honestly uproot part of their life and change jobs because that leader left them. Now that they left, everything's kind of gone down the toilet. So I think I'm going to hit them up on LinkedIn and see if they're hiring. That is credibility right there. You carry that with you. My juniors in the Navy love working for me, and I ain't, it's a kind of a flex, kind of not. They enjoyed working for me. They enjoyed working for me and with me because I was out there with them. I'm giving everybody a voice. I handled business, okay? I handled it. Shared ownership of outcomes. Leading from the front, who was the person I said was at blame? The leader, because it was that single point of failure. Leading from the rear, chances are the person to be at blame or break production or whatever it may be is what? The junior. Leading embedded, we all got problems right now. We are all at fault. I'm not going to blame you because maybe you didn't do something correctly. Maybe your code was poor. I didn't check your code well enough. Maybe my code was poor. Whatever it may be, we all share this outcome. Nobody's to be at blame. we can all feel kind of crappy about it, but okay, let's fix it as a unit. Let's decide what the next step may be. Everybody understand that? All right, good. So yes, that's leading. It's very, very simple, folks. It's nothing revolutionary in my opinion. It's just intentional effort, all right? So if you take anything away from this, please, please, be the leader that you've always wanted. Think about that. Think about those negative qualities or behaviors that you've experienced or are experiencing now. Change it. So that way the junior that you mentor or have working for you fixes it for the next person and the next person. It continues. And hopefully it gets a little bit better down the line, all right? Okay. Thank you all very much. Feel free to connect with me. Thank you. Feel free to connect with me. I'm in the market for a new role, so if y'all want me to bring some energy to your workplace, I got you, okay? Scan my QR code for my portfolio, and I really appreciate this. This is great. So I really appreciate everybody coming to see me talk, all right? Thank you. Yeah, sure.